So, I just got done watching the Internet Anarchists video, When Loved YouTubers Are Exposed as Predators, and I'm like, oh my god. Like, there were a lot of YouTubers on this video, and I've watched a few of these videos, you know, things like by Virtual Venture and other YouTubers that, you know, commentary YouTubers that I can't remember their names, and I think I just gotta stop watching these videos because it makes me angry. Not only does it make me angry that they do this, that YouTubers, you know, especially the influencers, the ones who are really popular, and they just do this. I mean, it's not just YouTubers, though. It's people on the internet, you know, all the time. But it also makes me angry because I had wannabe commentary channels, YouTubers ruin my life by trying to make me seem like a predator. And it makes me angry because I watch these videos and I see all the evidence and I'm like, nobody's got nothing like that on me. I've never had a sexual conversation with even an adult online, let alone with a minor. And the only time, you know, I talk to minors is, you know, when they comment on stuff and I respond to them like a human being. But, you know, usually when I talk to people, I don't automatically assume they're minors. In fact, I automatically assume they're adults, especially over 13, because that's the age you're supposed to be on YouTube. You know, I don't ask people what their age is unless it's relevant to whatever we're talking about. But I think the last time I had a explicit conversation with a minor was when I was a minor, and my boyfriend and I were the same age, and we would talk on AIM, and we went to school together. We knew each other. We weren't strangers. So it's like, how can you have a sexual conversation with somebody that you know is under 18? Like, okay, so I'm 34. Let's say I was single. I wouldn't even have a sexual conversation with an 18-year-old. That's too young. That is way too freaking young. And it's like, if you're old like me, and you're willing to do something with an 18-year-old, you're usually willing to do something with somebody younger, too. And, okay, so at some point, we stop aging. At some point, a teenager can look like an adult. And you are fully allowed to admit if somebody is attractive. It's not sexual. Like, say, my husband's straight. He can admit when another guy is attractive. Doesn't mean he wants to have sex with him. So, if an adult sees somebody who looks like an adult and admits they're attracted to, you know, to them, but, you know, not wanting to do stuff with them, like, not wanting to get with them, that's fine. But, like, once you find out what age they are, you go, oh, well, I thought that person was like 22 or something, but they're actually like 16. Well, let's hope that you age a little slower once you get to your adult, you know, years. I've had people at 33 think I was 16. I haven't changed much at all since I was a teenager, except for my weight. My weight has changed a lot. So we look the same for a good period of time until, like, 40? And we start getting them wrinkles and shit, so... And then, it's the people who meet their fans and, like, sit next to them and, like, put their hand on their leg and know full well that they're under 18. It's like, whether or not they are under 18, does not matter what age, you keep your hands to yourself. There is no reason for you to be putting your hand on somebody's leg unless there is a clear spark between the both of you, where the both of you are clearly flirting, and even then, it's like, you still gotta be really careful, but that's between adults, or between two teenagers, closer in age. But from what I gathered from this video, all of these YouTubers knew that their victims were minors. And I just don't know how you can do that. I really don't. Teenagers aren't necessarily children, they're adolescents, so they have a little more maturity and a little more understanding, but they're still too young to really grasp the concept and the importance and the, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh my god. It's on the tip of my freaking tongue. Intenseness that is sex. I consensually lost my virginity at 14 to another 14-year-old. So, but I was not exactly raised very well. Instead of looking at the screen, let's look at my Sonic characters I got for Christmas. So, teenagers, they get sexual, and it's the parents' job to prepare them and make them understand why it's best to wait. And my parent did not do that with me, so I made a bad choice. So the only thing sexual that I'll talk to minors with, especially teenagers, is I'll tell them, don't make the same mistake that I did. You're gonna, when you be with somebody, you got hormones, you're gonna feel those intense feelings, and it's gonna feel like it's the right thing to do. You're gonna feel like you're in love, but you're not. And you shouldn't do it. But if you have to, it just doesn't seem like you can live without doing it, please just do it safely. And for God's sake, make sure you know the age of the person, and if the person is more than 2 years older than you, don't do it. Don't. No, don't. Because that's not okay. And especially, do not let an adult tell you it's okay. Do not, and I want to make a video on how to stay safe from predators. Let me know if you guys would like that, because I'm still sort of accepting what happened to me as a child. I used to sort of wave it off like it wasn't a big deal, and kind of figured out that it did a lot more damage than I thought it did, and it was actually a big deal. So, I would like, and especially in the age of the internet, where kids are exposed to things that just aren't right, and parents have no control over it, you gotta know the red flags. You gotta know when somebody is using you and when somebody is manipulating you. But in short, don't ever share your age online, because that attracts predators. If they think you're an adult, they won't have any interest in you. These are the people who like teenagers, or worse, the people who like little kids. Especially if you're under 13, definitely don't share your age online. But if somebody asks you your age, it's probably best to not give it to them. Because once they see that you're a minor, that's what turns them on. And that's what they go after. So, and I don't like lying, so don't lie about your age. Just don't, they don't need to know. If it's relevant to the conversation, like if you're having a conversation about, oh, like my mom won't let me watch so and the other person goes, oh, really? How old are you? And you go like 16. You're like, you should be allowed to watch, what you want as long as it's, not rated R, blah, blah, blah. That kind of conversation, not like a creepy conversation. And never, I cannot stress this enough, never send pictures of yourself. Inappropriate pictures. Never. Not even if you are 45 and you're sending a nude picture to your also 45-year-old husband because it's your anniversary. Because guess what? Once that's on data, that shit is there. And if somebody hacks you, they got something very personal of yours that they can use against you. So if it doesn't exist, they can't do anything with it. That's why, the accusations of me being a predator can't be substantiated because there exists no stuff. I've never done anything that would be considered creepy, like they tried, but taking a screenshot of one thing I said without showing the rest of the conversation. When you look at the rest of the conversation, you're all like, oh, I see what you did there. But did anybody go looking at the rest of the conversation? No, just the one who was the quote-unquote victim and had been manipulated into believing that I did say something creepy. So, yeah. This person who ruined my life, oh, they are a piece of work. They are a piece of work. I got this at Claire's for like $4 because it was on clearance. Isn't it cute? But back to the predator thing. Just especially if you're a minor, even if another minor asks you to send nudes, don't do it. I knew somebody in high school at the time. We were 15 or 16, and this guy that I ended up dating, who ended up really ruining me, asked her to send him nudes. And I should have seen that as a red flag, but he was cute and I was a teenager and like, oh my god. But teenagers are stupid. So she sent him nudes. Now, if you really, really think about it, that means he solicited child pornography from her. And you don't think about that right away because they're both teenagers, so obviously there's nothing wrong. But that makes him in possession of CP and soliciting CP, and that makes her creating CP. And it's like, I'm pretty sure that's still illegal. So don't send naked photos, especially when you're under 18. And especially not to somebody that you don't know in real life, not to somebody who is crazy older than you, not to somebody who is an adult. And don't let any adult tell you that it's okay, because that's grooming. Don't let any adult tell you that this is what people do when they're in love or when they like each other. Do not let them do that to you. I know it's hard because infatuation is a crazy ass drug when all those hormones are zipping around when you're a teenager, and it feels like this is the one. This person is the one I'm going to marry. I'm going to spend the rest of my life with them, and there's no way they could hurt me. But when an adult preys on somebody who is younger, they're not doing it for love. They are doing it for their own selfish gratification. And that is why I want to make videos about how to stay safe from predators. I want to sort of make 3 different videos, one for young children, one for teens, and one teaching parents how to keep you goddamn safe. I'm just so sick of what I see online, and I'm really glad that I don't blindly follow influencers, and I'm not a influencer worshiper, and I don't follow certain, I don't follow channels, really. I watch, like you can kind of see, though the algorithm screws up my my search results sometimes. I don't know who Oomphaville is, but like I watch Nuke's Top 10s because I don't believe in ghosts, but I like seeing ghost quote-unquote proof videos just to kind of imagine that they're real. And I don't know, it's not something that bugs me, but I watch things that bug me, like this. I watch true crime stuff and it ruins me, and I really need to stop. And but at the same time, I'm like, it prepares me for things that happen, but at the same time, it also makes me really paranoid. And when I watch, God, there have been times where I've watched true crime things about predators that have made me cry because of what happened. And I know there's a lot of victims watching this, because I've realized in the past 10 years that it's way more common than I ever thought. And the fact that I had to unbury a suppressed memory that it happened to me too is something that I'm still trying to deal with. And I may not like kids, okay? But they don't deserve to be hurt. As bratty and snotty as they can be, and as much as they can lie and just be really immoral, they don't really know better. They are still innocent. I don't know how much I can say about that, about kids who murder people, because that has happened, but it's just, as a child abuse victim, it's really hard to hear about children being abused, and as somebody who values sex in a very positive way, and believes that it is something important in somebody's life if they feel those feelings. I know not everybody has sexual feelings. There are some people who don't mind living their life without sex, and there are some people who are even disgusted by it. I've met those people. But for those of us who enjoy it, like for me, it's very personal, and it's a way to connect with the person that I love, and that's my husband. And I'm very sex positive. If there are certain fetishes that I think are weird. There are certain fetishes that I think are flat out wrong. There are certain fetishes I think should be illegal. But when it comes to, the core aspect of it, I feel that it is positive. That's why I don't count what predators do and sexual assaulters do as sex. I don't count it as that. Because when I hear sex, I think of something positive. When I think of these guys, I think of the R word, which I have never had a problem saying up until a lot of stuff happened. So, I guess I should thank the people who accused me of being a predator, because you've made me 100 times more sensitive to it. But at the same time, I curse you to hell because you made me 100 times more sensitive to it. I don't want to be sensitive to stuff. when I'm sensitive to stuff, it hurts. And it really hurts to know that there are kids out there that don't know how to stay safe, and there are kids out there who become victims. And I know that for a while my audience was composed of a lot of kids who have now grown up, thankfully, and I hope I don't have kids watching me anymore. But if I do, that's a part of my audience that are potential victims or are already victims. And I've just always been this kind of person who wanted to do something to stop bad things from happening, but I don't have that power. I'm not Thanos. I can't, snap my fingers and make the entire world good. So, there's still a lot of stuff that I don't understand about SA victims because of the fact that my experience is not quite as extreme as most other people's. And I know that kids, especially when it happens to them, sometimes they think, what did I do? What's wrong with me? Why is this happening to me? And if you've watched this far and you are an SA victim, and especially if you're in that spot where you're thinking it's gotta be your fault, it's not. It is never your fault. I know that I made a horrible mistake where it sounded like I was blaming an SA victim for being SA'd. I made a mistake because of the way I said it. What I meant was it was her fault for moving to a certain place. But it didn't matter what I meant. What mattered was that's how it came out and that's how people took it. And it destroyed me. And I apologized to her. I never got a response back, so I don't know. I don't know how it affected her. But with the way it affected me, I can only imagine that it affected her really badly. And I will imagine that it affected her really badly unless I am proven otherwise, because that's the way my mind works. My mind goes, you did something wrong, and people are suffering because of it, and they're suffering hard, and you need to be proven otherwise because you're just freaking paranoid and anxious, and I'm pulling my hair, and it's not good to not know how to speak, and especially when you are on a stream of consciousness and you say a bunch of things and your thoughts get reordered like a pile of index cards. And I don't know how to speak, but the fact that happened and that it came out of my mouth, it hurt. I don't care that other people heard it. I don't care that other people are mad about it. Well, I mean, I do care. I wish they would stop being mad about it, because even if it was private, even if nobody heard it but me, I just feel like I don't think I've ever made a mistake as bad as that. I have never thought that SA victims are at fault for being SA'd. I know that's the way people took it. I did not think that then. I do not think that now. It's not your fault. Trust me. I'm wondering why also, and part of me kind of wants to track him down and just ask why. Do you ever feel that way? Where your abuser is gone, you haven't seen them in 20 years, more than 20 years, and you don't want to hurt them. You don't want to punch them. You don't want to chew them out. You just want to ask why. I was friends with his brother, and I wish I could find his brother and go, do you know what your brother did to me? Because I don't even remember his brother's name. But, you know, I'm kind of in that boat where I'm wondering, you know, I couldn't have been that pretty as a little girl to have a teenager do that to me. But it's mostly, and it's not just SA victims, it's abuse victims in general, because that's kind of still where I am with my whole child abuse experience with my mother. I always wonder, what did I do wrong? I must have been a horrible child to have her not love me. But I feel a little better knowing now that she was not actually schizophrenic. I thought she was schizophrenic because she was hearing voices. Turns out she was just hearing voices because she was on drugs. Her actual diagnosis is antisocial personality disorder and borderline personality disorder. Now, I know somebody with borderline personality disorder. I know what it looks like. But that person doesn't have antisocial personality disorder, so that person feels empathy. My mother feels no empathy. My mother is a literal psychopath. And my family told me stories about things she did as a kid, things she did to her siblings that I was just like, oh my God. And then I remember things that she did to me and convinced me to do. And I realized that a lot of it makes sense. And I want to make a video about that too. But my mother was a literal psychopath, a literal narcissist. She literally could not love me. I don't know about my dad. I think my dad's just made a lot of bad choices. I do think my dad loves me. I just think he's very irresponsible, and I also kind of have a suspicion that he's bipolar as well and needs treatment. He might also have ADHD. You know, he's not receiving treatment. His mother is filthy rich and doesn't, you know, help him out of his, situation. He has a drinking problem, but I don't think that he doesn't love me. I know for a fact that my mom never loved me or my brother. So I'm kind of healing from the is it my fault part of the abuse. And that's a good step. And I haven't really made a lot of big steps toward... I don't get enough treatment for my PTSD. And especially now that my PTSD has gotten worse thanks to the wannabe commenter YouTubers who ruined my life. I actually spoke with my therapist. What else can we look at? Let's look at these flowers. I made these out of pipe cleaners. So, and these are blood sugar needle tabs that I collected, and I don't know what to do with them. So if you have any ideas, let me know. But I talked to my therapist, and I told her I think I need something more extreme. Because she's a sweet person. She's great, and I bet she would be the coolest friend, but she's just a little too laid back for my kind of therapy. I need a lobotomy. That's how bad I feel right now. I feel like I need a lobotomy. I've contemplated starting drugs. I've contemplated starting drinking. I thought it'd be pretty cool to join a cult because I wouldn't be so alone. And, logic brain is all like, hey, you know that none of those things are good, right? So, yeah, I need a lobotomy. But in all seriousness, she's gonna, first of all, we're going to do a health screening test to see if I'm autistic and if there's anything else we missed. And second of all, I'm gonna try and, you know, get me a more immersive sort of PTSD and anxiety therapist, because, you know, a lot of the depression is, yes, caused by bipolar, but it is also caused by the trauma, and it is caused by environmental factors, like the fact that I practically live alone and don't have any friends because I don't have the ability to go out and do stuff that makes friends. It's hard enough, you know, just forcing myself to go to the store, which is a new thing for me, and it's still very hard for me, but I'm not at any point where, like, I can ride the bus by myself or something, and I don't have any opportunities to meet people. And meeting friends as an adult is really hard. So if you are underage and, you know, you keep a hold of your friends and hope that you become friends after school and stuff like that. I mean, Senpai is still technically my friend, but we don't live in the same state, and I'm also bad at texting, so we don't have a lot of contact between us. And then the people who we were making friends with just moved to Portland because the husband's job moved him. But we're in a red state, and we're tired of being in a red state. So we're all like, hey, tell us if Portland is cool. So I don't know. I need more help than I'm getting. And this is all paint. And I don't want to give up. I really don't. But watching videos like that makes me want to give up. But it kind of also makes me want to prove myself that there's no way that I could ever become that person. Even if I had like 1 million subscribers, that would never be me. Because, for one, I know better. For two, I'm not single. There's no reason for me to flirt with anybody online. You know, for three, I know better. I know right from wrong. You know, and I need to stop watching true crime. I need to stop watching these. You know, nothing against the people who make these videos. It's not their fault. It's the fault of all the horrible people that exist. Because if they didn't exist, videos like this wouldn't exist. For a while, I wasn't sure if Penguins Zero was a good person or not, but I think he might be. I don't know much about him, but I've seen him on a few videos, you know, where it says he ruined a bunch of people's careers, and that sounds really bad, but I don't think he's like the people who ruined my life. I think he's an actual, genuine good person. I don't know, though. I don't know for sure. But I watch Visual Venture, and he seems like a genuinely good person. Like, I like what he says. He says a lot of great things that my tormentors need to hear. And I wish I could re-upload, like, not a montage, a video of a bunch of his clips of things that he says that I think that you guys should hear. For some reason, I can't put words into mouth. But that's something that I would have to get his permission for, and he's too big to notice a little tiny bitty bit like me. So I'd love to know how Nick Avocado lost so much weight. I'm like, what did you do? Because exercise doesn't work. Did you know that? Did you know that exercise doesn't work? Yeah. No wonder I haven't lost any freaking weight. I don't know what to do. I'm so fat. I'm so heavy. I'm hot. I hate my life. Anyway, okay, so just please stay safe online, please. Just if it were up to me, people under 13 wouldn't even be online. But you got 2-year-olds with little tablets, and I'm just like, what is parenting? So it's just I just want kids just stop being in danger. Just stop. I just want people to stop. It is not hard to not be attracted to kids. They are not sexy. There is nothing sexy about them. It is not hard. That's how you know it's a sickness. When somebody can't empathize with it, I just can't. I can empathize with almost anybody, and I can't empathize with these freaks. And it makes me mad. It doesn't make me mad that I can't empathize with them. It makes me mad that they exist. Okay. I didn't even mean to make this long. It ended up being a rant, so I got a lot to say, and I don't have somebody to say it to, and I need to start doing video blogs and stuff, and I'm sorry, I just need to yell about things. 'Cause things suck. Things suck so hard. So yeah, I'm for the last bit, for people who did believe that I was a predator because of these people, and for people who were hurt because of that, I'm really sorry. I don't know what behavior I had that made me seem like a predator. I think a lot of things were read wrong. A lot of things were read wrong. But I guess I just can't understand where the accusations were coming from, because none of the reasons made any sense to me. And I don't know if that's just something that's wrong with me, but I'm going to tell you right now, easily, I am not sexually attracted to minors. I'm not sexually attracted to 18-year-olds. I'm not sexually attracted to 20-year-olds. My husband is 3.5 years older than me, and my cap forward and backward is 4 years. I can say that 23-year-old is good looking, but I do not want to have sex with that 23-year-old. I was attracted to teenagers when I was a teenager, like a normal person, because this is evil and wrong and unnatural. Okay? Yeah, that 16-year-old can be very pretty. Good for that 16-year-old. Don't touch. Don't imagine touching. Just stop. Off limits. Pretty much anybody should be off limits to you unless that person has given you consent. And there's this fine line where it'll seem like a teenager will give consent to an adult. I don't really believe that's real consent because they don't fully understand. So an adult should not take consent from a minor. even if it seems really confident. Like, yes, I want to do that. You shouldn't, because it's wrong. Triple wrong. And you should know better. Don't be Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz is a scary person. He has scary eyebrows now. Don't be these people. These people are horrible. And if you have a sexual feeling toward kids, please just get help. Because even if you're no contact, you're still dangerous. Because no contact doesn't stay no contact for long. Same for you zoophiles out there. Get help. Otherwise, I just wish you'd all just stop existing. I love animals. I hate children, but I don't like them being hurt. I'm gonna go blow my nose. If I said anything wrong in this video that just sounds really wrong, I'm sorry. Again, it was like, I don't really know how to word stuff, and I probably said something that I worded wrong and meant something, or something somebody will take, like, purposefully take wrong, like the person who said that I wanted to shoot people because I said that people like me shouldn't have guns. Yeah, that was genius. You feel good about that? Genius? I hate guns. And people like me shouldn't have them. That's the truth. Doesn't mean I'm gonna go shoot people. Jesus. It's like, seriously. Like, I'm pretty sure that most of these people knew very well that they were saying bullshit about me. And we're laughing about it. And then she goes and tries to kill herself. And it's funny! Yay! I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go.